As a preliminary step to get into some of this other tooling that we have available, we need to stop and talk about something called the terminal. Now, the terminal may look a little scary at first, but I found that there's really just a few things that you ought to know how to do in terminal in order to do some very powerful things beyond that. You can dive into it as much as you like from there. But to turn it on, you just search in your Mac for terminal, and you should get a window like this. I will also give you the heads up that the path thing that you're seeing here tells you the name of your computer, followed by the folder that you're currently in. So that little tilde means that I'm in the root folder of my user. And then the next thing is your username and a $sign. After that is where you type in your commands. So when you see things like this online, sometimes you'll just see the command that you write in. Sometimes you'll see the $sign followed by the command. You can usually discard or disregard, ignore that $sign in the prompt when you see it. It's usually just to say, hey, here's your prompt. From there on, you're going to type in the actual command. Okay, so one of those things that you need to know about is always be aware of where you are. So looking over here, because where you are in your directory tree is going to matter for the commands that you run. So you can always check where you are by typing in pwd, that's the present working directory, and you can see I'm in users Phil Shanley. Okay, I can also look at the files in this folder by typing ls. Okay, so those are all those folders that we saw a minute ago in Finder, and in fact, I'll just show you to be sure we're getting the idea here. We're just talking about our standard Finder window. So if I go to my root Phil Shanley folder, you can see there are all the same folders and files. Okay, so if I want to go into Sites and into my portfolio and into my Corner Bakery folder, I just type in the path from here. So I can type in Sites/portfolio/Corner Bakery. Okay, and I can also move in one folder at a time if I want, but that should get me there. Okay, so actually I skipped a step. I forgot about a very important step, and that is that you want to start with the keyword CD. That is for change directory. So you want to start with CD, and then you can type things in. Now, I'll give you a little tip that as you type, if you don't want to finish the whole word, but you know the name of the folder, you can press Tab, and Terminal will fill in the rest. So I'm going to just type in the first little bit and press Tab, and now I've moved. Okay, so there I am in the Corner Bakery. Again, I can type ls to see. Sure enough, there are my files. I can see them right over here. Okay, so very good. So it's from here that I can then type in any of my commands that I want to type in order to get things done. So one last thing here is if I want to navigate somewhere else, of course, I can change directory out one layer or out multiple layers. So you can see I'm at the portfolio folder now. But if I want to go all the way back up to my root user folder, such as to navigate back into a new project, I can type in the tilde / and then sites, and I could go into my PSIXD folder and into the Course Web 3 folder and move on from there. Okay, so that is all very helpful in terms of just moving around in terminal, because you want to make sure that you are you know where you are before you run commands, and typically you're going to want to be in the root folder of a given project to run those commands. So another way to get there is to just do it through the Finder. So if you're in Finder, you can right click and show new, or click on New Terminal at Folder. That's going to create a new terminal window just like that. And once it's finished loading, you can see, oh, sure enough, there we are in Corner Bakery, ready to go. All right, one last thing is that you can also fire up a terminal from within Atom. If you have installed the package called Platformio IDE Terminal, you should be able to toggle this on and off. And there should be a shortcut down here in the bottom that fires up a terminal right here inside of Atom, which is very nice. And you can see it looks exactly like what we had over there. It's just the light on dark theme instead of dark on light. And so we can do all the normal stuff here that we can elsewhere. So you'll probably see me working here in Atom from here forward rather than in the external terminal, but wanted you to make sure that you knew those were one and the same.